Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for joining us from all over the globe. We're so
Yeah.
excited to have you here. You are attending our MICA Admitted Student Virtual Reception and our International Student Panel. So first of all, congratulations on your admission to MICA.
Oh, congratulations, everyone.
So
Oh,
before we get started, I want to remind everyone that this session is being recorded. So we plan on posting this on our website so we can share this with all the students and families who are not able to join us today. My name is Kenny Yee. I've sent you a lot of emails, so I am the person behind a lot of the email communications you're receiving. I'm the Associate Director of International Admission. I am a proud MICA alum myself, and I've been working at the college for about 13 years. So I'm very excited to be here with you all. Before we get started, I want to allow our wonderful international admission team to introduce themselves. So, Alessandra, do you want to start?
sure. Hi, welcome and congratulations, everyone. I remember when I was in your shoes. I'm a proud MICA alum. I graduated from MICA's interdisciplinary sculpture department, although I came in as a painter, so that's a long story. But I've now worked at the college for almost 20 years, which I can't believe. I love what I do so much, working with young artists like yourselves and helping you on your path to MICA. I'm here in Baltimore, so I'll be here when you arrive on campus. I'm part of Micah's Team International. I work with Kenny and Yam Chu and Jenny and Joy. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Yam Chu.
Thank you, Alessandra. Good morning, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. My name is Yamchu Oh. You can call me Yamchu. Um, I'm also part of the international team. I'm one of the admission counselors, also MICA alum, like Kenny and Alessandra. Um, yeah, I started as a figurative painter and then went into abstraction and then subsequently was making found materials objects, but another long story as well. But you will change as well, just like us, trust us. And I'm also an educator. I teach at another school as well. But I also write, so I do have quite a full practice, so to speak. But I'm really excited to be working with all of you, and hopefully we can support you in your journey to MICA. So let us know how we can help. So welcome again, congratulations. And I'm gonna pass it over to Jenny.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Jenny Robinson, and I am also an admissions counselor here at MICA, but I am located in Seoul, South Korea. So very nice to meet you all. I attended MICA and graduated with a major in general fine arts. So as a practicing artist, I have a very well-rounded and interdisciplinary practice. And I also work both in admissions, but at a design company here in Korea. Yeah, so I think I'll pass the mic over to Joy.
Hi, I'm Joy Lee. I'm the admission representative and also a MICA alum. I graduated from MICA in 2021 as an interdisciplinary sculpture major student with a theater minor. And right now I'm back to China. I'm based in Shenzhen, China right now. I'm also a practicing artist. And I'll definitely introduce more about like what is going on right now and also my MICA journey later through my presentation. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. And now I want to introduce our amazing current MICA student panelists. So let's have everyone say their name, where you're from, and what major or minor you are currently studying. So let's start with Miranda.
Hello, my name is Miranda. I'm a sophomore animation student and I'm double majoring in humanistic studies and doing a minor in product design. And I'm from Mexico. So
Great, thanks, Miranda. Shweta, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so my name is Shweta Balakrishnan. I'm a fibers and painting major. I'm a junior year. I'm from India, Bangalore. I'm also a creative entrepreneurship and experimental fashion minor.
Thanks. Mian?
Oopsies. Hello, my name is Meiyan Dong. I came in as an illustration major, but right now I'm actually a ceramics major. And I'm from Shanghai, China. My hometown is in Gansu. And yeah.
Great, thanks. Elisa?
Hi, my name is Elisa. I'm originally from Costa Rica, and I am majoring in illustration, and I'm also pursuing my MAT art education degree.
Terrific. And Krish?
Hi everyone. I'm Krish. I'm a sophomore. I'm a second semester sophomore, and I'm double majoring in illustration and ESJ. And I'm from Chennai, India.
Great, thank you. And I'm looking through the participants. I don't know if Yeji or Johanna are here. If I missed you, please just chime in, but I don't think I see them currently in our meeting. So with that, we'll get started with the first question. I'm going to ask a couple of questions for our panelists, but for all our guests out there, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. So our panelists are here to answer all of your questions as well. But to start off, if anyone wants to answer, how did you come to choose MICA? What other schools were you applying to? And what are some of the things that you were thinking that helped you in your decision process?
I can go first. So I applied to other schools like Vista, Parson, Pratt, and like SVA, A, and all these other schools. And I felt like MICA had a lot of interdisciplinary practices in the artwork. So it's not like if you're a fiber major, you can only take fiber related classes. You could also do like painting classes, you could do like photography classes, and you could integrate all of them into your work. And that was very interesting to like explore as an artist, because I don't think you should always like refine your artwork to only to the one practice or only to one thing. You should always explore and learn more as an artist. And when we have all the resources in MICA, it's a great opportunity, because once you graduate, you won't have all of these different resources and different things to grow as an artist. And as a young person, you could learn so many things and so many techniques and so many ways to implement it, use different mediums in your artwork.
Great, thanks, Shweta. Does any one of our other panelists want to share a little bit of their decision process or where they applied and how they chose MICA?
Sure, I can go next. So I applied to about 12 to 15 art schools, and I got into a good amount of them. And sitting at home in India, it was hard for me to get an idea of what the schools are actually like. I couldn't get an in-person college tour being that far away, and there's very little I could do to understand what the place was like. But one of the things that I did was I tried to have as many meetings as I could with the different admission counselors and department people at all these different art schools. And I got a really good feeling from MICA's community and the network. And it was easy to contact Kenny, and it was easy to meet with people in the illustration department. And it was easy to, find different people in the MICA community. And I think that was one of the things that really helped me um, solidify my decision with MICA, along with a great scholarship package and offering a good amount of majors. And yeah.
Great, thanks, Krish. Anyone else want to share?
I'm happy to share too. So I actually since I was coming from abroad, I knew that there were some schools that were less likely to give me a scholarship as an international student. Like I knew that RISD wasn't very likely to do that and stuff, so I never even like applied. But I actually applied to a lot of schools in the Midwest because they tended to be like cheaper, and I have family in the Midwest on my mom's side. So I applied to like MICA, Minneapolis College of Art and Design, College for Creative Studies, which are ones that I don't usually hear as mentioned. But in the end, I chose MICA because I actually didn't want to necessarily be in the Midwest. I liked the idea of the East Coast. I liked MICA's location. MICA was also really generous with their scholarship package for me, and that made a big difference. And what else influenced? I feel like I liked MICA's vibe a lot. I also had a good experience with my admissions counselor, who was Kenny actually, and with just like current students that I was talking to on socials and stuff. Like the MICA students were the most helpful for sure.
Great, thanks. Yeah, we definitely encourage you to attend events, be part of the Hangouts, join our WhatsApp groups, join a lot of different opportunities so you get to feel what the culture and the community at MICA is like and what other students are like. Because when you're deciding your college, it is about the right fit. Where do you feel like you will be happy, you'll be nurtured, and where you'll grow? So all very good points. Great, I'll move on to another question. I'd like to ask this question to our panelists. Can you share something that was unexpected, like a nice, pleasant surprise that you weren't expecting when you arrived at MICA? So when you look back at the time that you've been here so far, what was a nice, unexpected surprise?
I can answer that question. I feel like when everyone enters in the first year, they're like very set on a major. And throughout the year, there's so much like experimentation and you meet so many artists that you're like bound to go to different routes. And I remember that I was like super set on being like an animation major. And now I have like minors and I want to do the humanistic studies. So it definitely like makes you open your mind and your expectations of what is to be an artist, and also what are the practices that you do to kind of complement your work. It can be like painting or sculpture or performance or ceramics. And I feel like everything makes you grow a lot in the ways that I did not expect it to grow. But yeah.
When I came here, I didn't have anyone as a family like in the United States, and it was completely new for me here. And I felt like coming to MICA would be really hard to like adapt and to like, being homesick and being here, like would there be a lot of things to like, like for me to do by myself. But then once I came here and I saw like I had like lovely roommates and they were like very like the whole thing about like residence life, like matching me up with roommates was really nice. And the whole like everyone made me feel so loved and made me feel more like a community. So like when I joined like clubs, like different culture identifying clubs, and it was very home touching. They had like so many events where it was like where I can connect and I can go back to where it was at home, like the holy event that's happening, or there's like Diwali events that's happening. So those things were something that was very like heart touching and felt like, wow, okay, I guess I'm not homesick anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
Shweta, do you want to mention quickly the clubs that you're in?
Mm-hmm. So there are like a lot of clubs in MICA. The club that I really like that I'm in is like the outdoor club, which happens where there's a lot of like tracks and there's a lot of camping. We go to like Druid Hill. Last semester we went to this Blue Ridge mountain hike where there's like fall. It was a mix of lot of like fall trees and like beautiful apples to like pick and stuff. It was beautiful. Um and then there's like upcoming with like the another track which was in like Druid Hill this semester, which is a park nearby and it has like trail. So there's a lot of stuff happening on campus. There's also one of the Brown Asian student club, so where there's like a lot of events. So we're planning like a holy event this semester, which is happening in like 2-3 weeks. And we're having like food and everything. So it's all these things are happening on campus constantly to like um bring in the community and to make everyone feel home and safe and loved.
Great. Thanks, Shweta. Anyone else want to share an unexpected pleasant surprise?
I could share. So I don't know if it was just me, but when I was deciding on art schools, I was kind of like worried about, oh, what are my other peers like skill level? Will I be able to fit in with them? And when I came to MICA and I saw all the exposition, like shows around campus and in the different school buildings, I was really surprised by just how many like skilled artists and how much like great artwork there was that like I hadn't seen on social media. Like, and I was just like, wow, this is really good. Why didn't I know this was from like a MICA student? Or like, oh, this is by like a MICA teacher? I didn't know that. So there were a lot of like pleasant surprise and like, oh wow, this really famous artist actually taught in MICA for like so many years. I didn't know that. So there were many like good surprises like that.
Yeah, the community is so talented, and so is this new incoming class. So we encourage you all to reach out to each other. You could do private messages and share your Instagram handle, websites, and just get to see some of the amazing work and ability that this new incoming class that you will be a part of. So yeah, the talent is all around us, and I'm always excited when I see the student exhibitions all around campus. Thanks.
Any we
There's-
have a-
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry. There's one of the student asking a question in the chat.
Yes, yeah.
Apart from MICA, could you share your living experiences in Baltimore? Can you talk about safety, the vibrancy, cost of living around the city? So yeah, student panelists, do you want to share a little bit of your experiences?
I
Yeah,
can
sure.
share. Is it all right if I go first? I
Yeah.
don't know who else said me, but
No, go ahead.
so I actually feel like I move around Baltimore a lot, like more than I don't know, I think some other students might. I go over to Hopkins at least once a week because my church is up there and because like I just have a lot of friends in the area, and so that kind of like commute from MICA to Hopkins is one that like I'm very familiar with within Baltimore. And like I know the bus system well now. So I would say that like I don't know, let's see. From the question you asked of like, do you feel safe? Totally. I mean, it's a city like any other, right? So like there's a certain level of like prudence that you need to have and like a certain level of, you know, like kind of knowing where you're standing. But at the same time, I think Baltimore is, I've never had any particular experiences to speak of. And I think Mike also does a really job of making it safer through like the shuttles, and just kind of getting the information of like how you get from point A to point B and what the best ways to do that are. As far as city vibrancy, I feel like Baltimore is really fun. Like it is a city of neighborhoods, so it kind of depends on like what neighborhood you're in, what the vibe is. But I know that they have like there's so many crazy events that happen during the year. Bike More has like bike party where they get everybody together on bicycles and they go through the city. And like they'll do like special like costumed ones for certain events. There's I think there's like a race thing event that's planned by the American Visionary Art Museum where like people make their own like crazy kind of sculptural cars and then like just like drive them around. Like those kinds of things that I feel like are just kind of the Baltimore quirkiness that I really enjoy. And cost of living, it's definitely cheaper than other places in the East Coast. I live off campus. And I don't know, I've really enjoyed the experience of being in Baltimore. I definitely like the city a lot. That is kind of a pleasant surprise. I like the city a lot more than I thought I would. And yeah, I've just really enjoyed being here. I'm happy to answer any more questions about Baltimore specifically.
Thanks, Elisa. Yeah, that's the annual kinetic sculpture race that you're talking about. It's always a lot of fun. We stand outside and watch that every year. Any other panelists want to share their Baltimore experiences?
I could share. So, I'm a freshman, but I'm currently living like outside of campus, and I wanted to give like other prospective students like on the cost, like compared to like New York and other cities, Baltimore is a lot cheaper. Like for rent, if you have a roommate, around $800, $900 is enough. And inside MICA's campus, there's a lot of other places you can rent. So the place I live is like a 5-minute walk to the different campus buildings. So that's very convenient. And there's many places, apartment buildings, where it's like a very short walk to campus. And like, except for rent, food and stuff, I think or a month around like $200-$300 is enough. So like my living expenses a month in total is, since I'm renting a 1 bedroom by myself since my family might be coming later, so it's around like 1,600, and then electricity and water maybe it's like $100, and then all other costs like transportation, food, maybe I'm like buying like a skincare stuff or something like that, and then it's like $400, $500 total. So it's a lot cheaper than New York.
Yeah, if I could chime in, I'm originally from New York, and the major differences, not only for cost of living, but accessibility. When I was in New York, I always felt like a spectator of the art scene, and you were watching famous established artists showing their works in these like blue chip galleries. But as soon as I moved to Baltimore, like 15 years ago, I felt like a part of an inclusive community where you would see the same artists and they were more open and friendly. And as a young artist and a MICA student, you can be an active participant in the art scene because it's the young artists and musicians and performers that really kind of drive the arts and culture scene in Baltimore. So you have these wonderful pop-up and alternative gallery spaces. You have these great underground music venues and performance spaces. So as a student at MICA, you have opportunities to show your artwork. You have opportunities to collaborate on projects and curate shows. So the opportunities are out there to build your resume and have these great exhibition experiences. And New York and DC, they're all really nearby local art scenes that you can still visit and experience. But as a MICA student, you will be able to help be an active member in the Baltimore art scene. And I also want to welcome Yeji and Johanna from Korea, who are part of our panelists. So yeah, I want to welcome them as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
So Yeji, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, your major, and where you're from?
Hi, I'm from Korea, and my major is General Fine Arts, and I'm minoring in curatorial practice. I'm a junior right now. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. And Johanna?
Hey guys, my name is Joanna. I'm also from Korea, And I'm in painting major and curatorial practice for minor.
Great, thanks. All right, next question. And again, for our guests, please feel free to ask questions in the chat, type them in. You can also unmute yourself and ask your questions, but our panelists are here to answer any of your thoughts and questions. But for now, I will ask another question. Can you describe a specific class or a professor that has been influential in your growth and your creative practice at MICA? And that's for any of our panelists.
I can share. So one of the classes that has been the most influential, I took a introduction to stop motion class last semester, and it's been one of my favorite classes, and it was definitely one of like a career pivoting class. And Stephanie Williams is a professor that teaches that class, and she is everything to me. I don't know what I would have done without her. And my final project that I did for that class has gotten selections from film festivals, as well as it got selected as one of the best animations in like a story in like what is it? A jury film festival made by students here at MICA. So it was definitely, I was like, this is it for me. I'm leaving everything behind and I'm going with Stephanie in stop motion. So, but yeah.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of times students will find a connection to a professor, the philosophy or the way they teach, or even their own practice in their work really just resonates with students, and they find that kind of connection and mentorship with specific professors.
We had a great addition to this question. To our panelists, as you answer your question, take a look at the chat. We had a question about what the student and teacher interaction is like. So maybe you want to talk about like your class size and how often your work is critiqued, or how you get feedback about your work from the teachers. I think MICA's small classes really surprise students. So if you want to talk about that, that'd be great.
I want to talk about it. So like a lot of professors have their own kind of critique that they endure for students. So, some follow by the Lisman critique, some follow like different kinds of critique as students learn and grow. And critique is one of the most important things in the art school, because you not only learn how to like see an artwork and understand, but also ask questions in terms of how it could relate to like one another. And in terms of the teacher and student interaction, I feel like a lot of teachers and students have like create this bond over time, and they end up taking classes over and over again in different kinds of classes. So there's like, for example, like I have this favorite professor called James Williams who's a painting department, and he often like has always like gives me feedback and gives me more support into what I want to go in the direction of I want to go and perceive, and keeps pushing me in terms of what I have to achieve and what I want to achieve, and directing and like the classes I take in MICA. And this is not only part of like part of like the curriculum. It's also like when you are having this one-on-one meetings as midterms, or one-on-one meetings when you're like discussing about the artwork, it grows as a bond to like with the professors you have in MICA. And some of them end up like having to do like some professors offer the students like an assistant internship, or like a studio internship where you get to work with them personally. And some of my friends have like great experiences on that, and I've had some people I know where they like worked with other artists in MICA who was also a professor.
Thanks, Shweta. And it's important to note we have also ELL specialists. So we have instructors who have vast experiences in working with English language learners. So there is that support in modified first year academic courses for support for all students.
Yeah, I would say they're like the support system at MICA for international students, like for instance, Learning Center or the Writing Help Center is very helpful. Like there are a lot of people there to help language wise. And yeah, like Alessandra mentioned also, the class is pretty small, so you get the feedback a lot of feedback as you want. To critic, a lot of classes are critic based too. Like you get a lot of critics about your work and feedback from the professors, which is really nice. It really expands your like, vision to see artworks, your works too. So yeah, it's really nice.
Thank you so much, Yeji. It's so good to see you too. And I wanted to add something unusual about MICA is you'll always have a MICA professor as your main teacher, but you may also have a graduate student as a teaching assistant. So you oftentimes have two professors giving you very different perspectives, and it helps you to connect with the amazing graduate students that are on campus also. So that's something kind of unexpected, I think. But yeah, if anybody else wants to chime in about their, oh, Kenny was a teaching assistant for a painting class at MICA. That's amazing. I would have loved to have had you as a teaching assistant in my class. But yeah, if anybody else wants to add anything special about their class or teachers, I see.
I'd love to share.
Oh, sure.
So I had a professor my freshman year. Actually, Yiji had him too. Dave Cloutier. He is like amazing. I love him. He unfortunately no longer teaches at MICA. I'm pretty sure he retired, but I feel like he's a very pivotal, kind of essential, quintessential MICA professor. In part because the reason why he was so influential to me is that he was my drawing professor, but in teaching me how to draw, he said that like he wasn't necessarily going to teach us like how to draw. Instead, he was going to teach us how to think and how to think through drawing. And so I think Dave really influenced the way that I saw myself as like an artist and the way that I approach creating stuff. So like even now, like my sketchbook practice has drastically changed since I took his class. Like just like his critique was always very kind of intense in the sense that he knew everyone's work personally and really wanted everyone to succeed. And like, yeah, he was very personal, like very, he got to know everybody and he would really like play to people's strengths. And he was just a very like charismatic, very fun, very quirky guy. And I think like even now, like as a junior, I still think about that class and often like Dave's words will resound in my head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure that I'm like enjoying what I'm doing, that I'm being disciplined with everything else in my life so I can make art. Like he's the little fairy that tells me if I'm going through art school in a good way.
Yeah, I miss him so much.
Great. There's a bunch of questions in the chat that I want to make sure we get to. Mira, I see your question about thinking about MICA between choosing MICA and SVA. I would be happy to have a specific conversation comparing those two schools, also to know kind of what you're looking for, what your intended major is, and that can kind of give us a little bit of context to our conversation as to how to differentiate schools, knowing kind of what you're looking for. Some of the other questions for the panelists are the requirements to double major. How is the workload pursuing both majors? So I know some of you are double majoring.
Yes.
So want to share that?
Shweta's a double major. Shweta's a double major. Do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, of course. So being a double major is a lot of work, and it's like having two theses that you have to do in your final year, which is a load of chunk of work. But I feel like um being a double major is also like having the option of taking one classes and other classes, and it kind of blends into your degree plan. And having like it's not that much of a workload once you figure things out with your advisor. But it definitely has like a lot of like it definitely has like a lot of classes that you have to take that's in both the majors, and there's lesser room to like experiment when you're like wanting to do like other classes in other departments, um because of the requirement of the two major credits. And having that is not only it also directs you in what you want to do and what you want to create in the artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also share about my experience with the double major. I feel like a lot of it is understanding yourself as an artist, yourself as a student, and what you can manage. It's about finding like the perfect fit for you. I came into MICA only wanting to do illustration, and I was crazy about illustration. I still am. But I found out about this major ecosystem sustainability and justice, which is a very unique program that is not offered at any other art school in America. And meeting the faculty members, taking the intro to ESJ class, um, through the semester, I learned so much about the program that I really wanted to be part of it. And now I'm double majoring in illustration and ESJ. And not only do I have my own studio space early, I also have connections and I have a lot of interesting, unique classes that I can take that go very well with my illustration degree.
To add more, I also want to mention about the minor programs as well. Well, double majors at MICA is really flexible. So I saw a lot of my friends like choosing like GFA and film, sculptures, or art history. Like it's easy to make your own schedule with your academic advisor. But MICA also have a really good minor program as well. I'm taking curatorial practice. Um, which is really unique as well because it's mostly offers in graduate school, but it's awesome that I could take it in an undergraduate program. And if you're taking curatorial practice program, you also have an opportunity to create your own show during the juniors and senior. And I feel like MICA is giving some like really good options to do it in real life with living artists because most of the professors here are professor, but at the same time they're artist or curator or there are some people like who work in a art industry, so you can get a really good feedback and critique um from the real life and which applies in a society like art industry society. So it's a really good sessions to like networking with people. And um, I would I would say like make a really good connections with professors and your classmates and also your academic advisor. And then you will get a really good experience.
Yeah, I wanted to add to what Joanna just said about connecting with your professors. Something I always share with students is that if you come across a particular professor who you really connect with and his or her work resonates with you and you have a rapport, I would strongly encourage wherever you end up to, approach them and see if they would be your mentor, because a mentor is really important. And a mentor works with you, not just works with you on your work and not just about being at MICA. A lot of our mentors become lifelong friends, and in being an artist in the art world, the community is everything, and your professors become part of that community. And even after graduating for so many years, I still keep in touch with my professors, and Just this year, actually, I was in an exhibition with a collective, and I worked with an ex-professor who I was a TA, a teaching assistant for, and we put together an artist talk for the collective, and so we collaborated on something together. And it doesn't mean, we're all artists, and making sure that you find yourself a mentor. I wish someone had kind of reminded me about that when I was your age. But yeah, if you find that, definitely approach someone you connect with.
Great. And then I would just want to close the student panel section with one last question. I know a number of our panelists need to head to morning classes. I want to thank them all for joining us, but for anyone who wants to answer this last question, what advice would you give a new incoming student? That would be my final question for the panel.
Oh my gosh, I always give the same advice, but I'm gonna give it again. And I'll drop it in the chat as well. I would show you guys, it's on my wall, but it's on that wall. I have Karita Kent's art rules, and I've talked about this on like panels that we've had during the open house and things, and parents and students have really enjoyed them. But they're basically these rules that this one nun who was an art teacher wrote about like what to do as a student and what to do as a teacher within the art classroom. And I remember that I had them up my freshman year, and it was incredibly helpful. Like just to have like this framework and like to think like, like which of these things am I not doing that could make my experience better? And like these kinds of things. There's a really good video that explains them as well. So I'll drop like 2 links in the chat or something. But Karita Kent's rules, like, and the first rule is like find a place you trust and then try trusting it for a while. So like that's what you do like with your faculty. That's like what you do with the specific art school that you decide to choose. So I'd say that those rules, and then also like I would encourage you to not freak out about picking where to go to college. I know that I did, and I wish I hadn't. It feels like the biggest decision in the world, but I think it has a lot more to do with like what's good for you than like the objective, like what is the best school out there. So I think that's just like an important perspective that not everybody always shares. But I have to head out because I do have class, but I hope this was helpful, and I will drop those links and then I'll head out. So
Thank you so much, Elisa. We really appreciate you being here, and have a great day and enjoy class. Any other panelists want to share some parting advice?
I would say like explore around the city out of campus, like be social, meet people, because it's really pretty important to like meet people and talk about your art experience, and you could also like learn their experiences, meet another artist. I realized that's pretty like it's pretty important, and it's really fun to like in freshman year and sophomore year. I didn't really do it. So I would say just be social, or you don't have to be social, just explore around the city out of campus.
Yeah, we have a lot of clubs and organizations. We have an Office of Student Engagement that can help students get involved with on-campus events. You can also start your own clubs, but it's a great way to meet other students, to find others who have similar interests and passions. So yeah, being engaged with the community and the events really helps your overall college experience. Thank you, Yeji.
Also, there's a program called Community Site Leaders that it's like volunteering in organizations with Baltimore. And I was part of that program and I absolutely loved it. I worked with this organization in Baltimore that is all about the environment and especially about the water in Baltimore. And I met so many cool people there. They are like not related to MICA at all. So if anyone's interested, I suggest joining that program. It's a very good way to learn the city, meet other people. Yeah.
I want to give some advice that don't get too much stressed about GPA. I got so stressed about GPA that I should get over like 3.8. But well, I just wanted to tell you that I just enjoy this whole 4 years program process because professors here are really nice and they will understand you in a specific circumstance. So let's say you have an assignment due tomorrow, but you have your own issue that you can't finish that, then you can ask for extensions and they will understand it. Like, or if you have any situations that you got like too much stress and your artwork doesn't work really well, then you can also share it. Like just share everything, like share your concern, talk with your friends, talk with your staffs here. Everyone is here for you. So if you need any help, just tell them and then they will help you to solve it. They will be like with you. So I mean, I can say that school is a really good safety line that you can do whatever you want. So just face on a challenge and do lots of things as the other students like advice, like as Yeji said, like she told everyone that, oh, explore Baltimore, like, and just just travel a lot and make a really good social connections. Like DC and New York is really close, and also there's a Penn Station's like 15 minutes walk away from MICA. Like you can go to the DC, buy $9 train tickets like anytime you want, and from here to New York it only takes about like 3 hours, and you will get a really good cheap tickets by using a bus.
And they do have, MICA does have a free Charm City Circulator, which is a free public bus. Not too many cities have free buses that will take students around. And MICA also has the shuttle bus that takes you around the MICA campus and to surrounding areas outside of MICA's campus. So plenty of opportunities for transportation, a lot of runners, bike lanes. So if you're a biker, a runner like I am, many places to go biking, running, hiking, any kind of mode of transportation and movement we have for you in Baltimore. Thanks, Johanna. Any other last parting advice from our panelists?
Yeah, I would say whatever you want to do coming into MICA is possible. If you want to leave a class with a finished illustrated book, if you want to be part of an exhibition, whatever it is, you can find ways to do it because the professors and the faculty and the system are tailored to your needs, and there's ways to do it.
What I would like to say is that always keep in touch with like your professors. I feel like like the ones that you connect to, the ones that you always like have good bonds with, definitely like keep in touch with them because there's so many like opportunities that you could get, like more you network and more you like get out in the real world, have like so many exhibitions and like do all these things. It's better that you have like different networks and different like professors where they get to see your work as well as like recommend you like exhibitions to apply, grants to apply, and that's like a great opportunity as an artist.
I want to add one last thing. Like at the beginning of the summer break before freshman year, I focused a lot of my time on doing like work, like publishing work or like doing illustration for companies and stuff. I like, oh, I need to, practice like in the real world. And then I got advice from my teachers that, like the 4 years in college is like this very rare period of your life where you only have to focus on yourself, your work, figuring out what you want to do, what your connection with this world is, what you're interested in. So I guess my advice would be that like in college to put more time to like working on your own work. And yeah, also to what the other panelists said, don't worry too much about choosing what college because there's not that much of a difference. Like, art schools, while they can be different, like the community can be different, the vibe can be different, like overall it's a place for you to like work on your artwork. Like, yeah, like your art matters the most, not the school.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that is some good advice. I mean, and that is, you go through this undergraduate experience one time, and it is not only growing as an artist, but as a person, as a young adult. And we want you to have all those experiences, not only for art, but for your college experience and just how you kind of interact with other artists in the world. So be open-minded and ready to learn, but be ready to experience. I want to thank the student panelists so much. I say this all the time, but I truly am so impressed and proud of the work that you do and how hardworking, but how supportive and caring. And you're just all a wonderful part of the MICA community. And that's what makes us so excited and proud of all our students at MICA and our alumni as well. So thank you so much for supporting this event and sharing your own experiences with prospective students and families. I know it means a lot. This will be shared online as well. So for many of the families who are not able to be with us today, they will get to hear your words of wisdom and learn a little bit more about your MICA journey. So we really thank you so much. I know some of you have classes, but thank you. We deeply appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you around campus.
Yeah, thank you so much, student panelists. Aw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome, everyone. Again, this presentation will cover a little bit about MICA programming, our amazing alumni, careers and internship opportunities, and talk about next steps. So at MICA, you'll be joining a talented group of creative and innovative artists. Each of you possess a really unique superpower, and that superpower is your creativity. And MICA is really dedicated to developing that superpower for you. So MICA is more than an art school. It's a place where your creativity is celebrated, developed, and nurtured. And our alumni are a testament to this, achieving remarkable success across various fields in art and design. So for example, this is Jen Stark, who studied, I believe she was an animation artist at MICA. Her cosmic artwork has been exhibited globally. Her piece, Power of Being, on the right, is part of the Smithsonian American Art Museum's permanent collection. Jen has also launched a capsule collection of sneakers with Skechers in the summer of 2023, and has had her work grace the covers of Cosmopolitan magazine. This is Chris Papa, who has served as a vice president of animation at Nickelodeon. He has been nominated for 5 different Emmy Awards for promotional works that included working on the shows Dora the Explorer and SpongeBob SquarePants. This is Jeremy Talbert, who works at Pixar and has worked there for more than 15 years now, recently as a character supervisor on animated films such as Elemental, Finding Dory, and Onward. This is N.D. Stevenson, who is an illustration major at MICA. N.D. created and illustrated Nimona, which is a National Book Award finalist for Young People's Literature, New York Times bestseller, and was developed into an Oscar-nominated film for Netflix. N.D. has also worked on the animated series She-Ra and the Princess of Power, and has been the recipient of multiple Emmy and Eisner Awards. This is Amy Sherrill, who was a painting student at MICA, whose works are now held in public collections globally. And Amy painted the official portrait of First Lady Michelle Obama for the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. Hilary Ament was a graphic design student at MICA. She works as a graphic designer for film and TV. Hilary has worked on Disney's Jungle Cruise, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Taylor Swift music videos, which would make my daughter really excited, and the Oscar-winning film Oppenheimer. Jacoby Satterwhite was, I believe, a general fine arts major. His work has been included in the prestigious New York Whitney Biennial and has recently transformed the historic Great Hall of the New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art with his piece, A Metta Prayer. And then lastly, Zach Richter is the creative director for Meta, who has designed and creative directed the first of its kind VR fitness app, Supernatural, which was awarded the best app or game of 2020 by Fast Company. So this is just a small sampling of our wildly successful MICA alum. I can really go on for hours about all of our amazing graduates. But yeah, we're super proud and excited to see the next kind of thing that MICA students are creating. So all these diverse and successful careers did start at MICA, and we know that developing your inner power requires taking a complete approach. So MICA fosters growth both in your academic and your studio courses, developing you as a complete person. So we support you personally and professionally. We do this by providing you with a nurturing environment that is safe, inclusive, creative, and comfortable. And this gives you the room to explore, so you can explore who you are and who you want to be. So at MICA, no matter who you are, you'll find your community through collaborative and a creative environment. We have, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of different clubs and organizations, over 46 different organizations at the moment, that range from identity clubs like the Asian Student Alliance to hobby groups like the MICA Start Gaming Club, as well as activist groups. So these clubs are not just for exploration, but they're also meant to build a fun and supportive community. You can see this in action through our vibrant events like the fashion show or the MICA Art Market and other student-run happenings throughout the year. So for the fashion show, for nearly 3 decades, the annual benefit fashion show, which is going to be taking place, I believe, next weekend, features practical and outrageous creations by students in a wide array of majors, identities, and ethnicities. All proceeds of the show support diversity programming and scholarly initiatives for our MICA students. MICA's Art Market empowers students and the MICA community to create and sell their art while gaining professional experience. So Art Market provides a stage and a platform for you to highlight and support scholarships and entrepreneurs. So Art Market creates a thriving Baltimore arts community, and you get to sell your work. Student organizations host a number of events for the entire community, from hand lettering workshops with the Illustration Club to day trips with the Outdoor Club, and even performances by the college's burlesque troupe. There are co-curricular opportunities for everyone. But at MICA, discovering who you want to be from our nationally recognized art and design education and making connections on campus happens in Baltimore and around the world. In the first year experience that all students go through, you'll be engaged in innovative foundational courses such as drawing, 2D, 3D design, new media while working conceptually and collaboratively. You'll also participate in studio electives and forum discussions that foster dialogue and creative problem solving. And students will not officially declare their major until the spring semester of your first year. So you will be given that time and space to explore, try new things, work with different mediums, and see where your experiences kind of gravitate towards, so you can make a good informed decision when you officially choose your major. The Make Cool Stuff Lab and courses in ecosystem, sustainability, and justice, and in our social design program will equip you to make a meaningful impact through your art. And our alumni are proof of this diverse skills and critical thinking that you'll develop here. So, for example, Alex Bogdanovich founded AeroThreads, which is an SBA certified hub zone and a woman-owned small business that specializes in multi-layer installation blanket products for the aerospace industry. This is Winston Frazier, who was a painting major, but also had a deep passion and love for science. He's a digital manufacturing service provider that now offers 3D printing, computer-aided design and optimization for the additive manufacturing, where his company, Dene Prosthetics, where he is the co-founder and CEO. His company's 3D printed prosthetic covers for amputees were featured in the Smithsonian Institution show Futures. This is Herschel Rubin, who is the founder of Compressant Company. He's creating products to help neurodivergent people regulate their sensory overload in a way that does not stigmatize them. Both Herschel and Winston Fraser from the slide before were both Upstart winners. So MICA does foster and support creative entrepreneurship. Both of them were winners of our Upstart competition, where they received $25,000 in investment funding to help start their sustainable businesses. And then lastly, this is Shengtang Li, who is a fellow at Urban Ocean Lab, a think tank focused on cultivating rigorous, creative, equitable, and practical climate policy for coastal cities. So we're super excited about the diverse kind of careers of these MICA graduates. And you can see how art really does intersect with so many areas of our lives. But as an anchor institution in Baltimore, the city is really integral to the MICA experience. Baltimore is not just a backdrop, it's a thriving canvas of creativity and opportunity. Ranked number 14 in the New York Times list of places to visit in 2024, it offers a wealth of cultural experiences, from visiting museums and galleries to outdoor adventures, all within the city or 20 minutes right outside. So there's so much to do in this vibrant community. To fully explore your potential, though, feeling safe, feeling comfortable, and feeling healthy is crucial and important to your experience. And to help do this, MICA provides apartment-style living, top-notch food options, and a comprehensive health and wellness services. So MICA's residencies on campus are not your typical dorms. Apartments on campus occupy 3 to 4 students who share a living room. You have a full-size kitchen with a full-size fridge, oven, stove, microwave. So if you love to cook, you will have your own kitchen right in your apartment. And each apartment also has its own private bathroom and shower. So you don't have to share a bathroom with an entire floor. You just share it with your apartment mates. And to help students stay safe and secure, we have security guards who are stationed at campus safety desks at all of our residence halls and academic buildings. Our campus safety also offers 24-hour dispatch, 24-hour transportation assistance, up-to-date correspondence via MICA alert messaging, and so much more. Food at MICA is really important, though. So if you like to eat like I do, there are so many different eating options on the MICA campus and surrounding areas too to eat. But on campus, you can grab a sandwich or a latte for breakfast at Cafe Doris. You can grab a salad and the daily special at our main Meyerhoff dining hall, which is buffet style, or fries and a burger and have a late night dinner at Glaze Grill, located in Founders Green. So MICA's chefs accommodate any and all dietary restrictions, and they focus on hyper-local buying practices whenever possible. And Baltimore is a great city for foodies. It was named the second best city in the US to eat locally by LawnStarter. You can also explore a variety of different international dishes in different neighborhoods, like in Little Italy or Greektown, Koreatown, and Spanish Town. And there are many opportunities to go shopping to different grocery stores. So MICA has shopping shuttles that will take you to H Mart, which is a popular Asian grocery store. MICA's Health Center includes primary care, reproductive and sexual health services, women's health, gender-affirming care services, and mental health services. We also have a wonderful fitness center right on campus that hosts a variety of cardio and weight machines featuring treadmills, ellipticals, bikes, free weights, and a strength circuit. So plenty of opportunities for you to exercise. And we understand that when you feel safe, inclusive, creative, and comfortable in your environment, you're left feeling empowered to explore and forge a purposeful life and career in a diverse and changing world. One of the other things that MICA has a huge focus on is preparing students for their careers. And MICA's career development services really empower MICA students with a wide range of professional tools, programs, and guidance on all aspects of developing a creative career in a range of different fields. We have counselors at the Joseph Meyerhoff Center for Career and Development that are dedicated to helping students identify their strengths and their interests. It helps them build their professional package to enter the workforce, continue studies in graduate schools, and connect with alumni and employers to find the right job and internship. They can also work with you on financial wellness practice, and so much more. And after you graduate, you will have lifelong access to MICA's career development services and resources. So this is a wonderful benefit for our MICA alumni. But internships provide a valuable opportunity for you to network and gain valuable real-life work experiences. Our career center can help you identify appropriate opportunities, provide financial support through the MICA Internship Fellowship, and earn up to 6 credits towards your graduation. So you can follow our internship experiences firsthand through MICA's internship blog, which are supported by MICA students. Our internship database lists more than 800 different internship sites. This is just a small sampling of the places that our students have interned at recently. At least 70% of MICA students will have had at least one internship by the time they graduate. And so often these internships can develop into real job offers. So for example, Isabel Tay from Singapore did a wonderful internship at MICA Animation Studios on the West Coast in the summer break between junior and senior year. She impressed them so much that they offered her a job before she graduated. So when Isabel was graduating, she had a job on the West Coast waiting for her at MICA Animation Studios, and they also sponsored her work visa. So that is an example of a student really taking advantage of that internship and developing it into a job offer right as soon as they graduated. If you're interested in being your own boss one day, having your own business, entrepreneurship, and creative practice can be at the center of your MICA experience. The Ratcliffe Center for Creative Entrepreneurship sponsors a number of programs to support you. Like I mentioned, the Upstart Venture Competition, where we award up to $100,000 in business and seed funding. Curricular programs like the Creative Entrepreneurship Studio Minor and our first-year fellows allow students to hone their creative critical thinking and their business skills. Also, the Baltimore Creatives Acceleration Network, otherwise known as BCAN, offers holistic business, marketing, legal, and financial training while working with partners in Baltimore and beyond. So choosing MICA means choosing a path where your artistic talents are nurtured and your personal growth is supported. So it's not just about preparing for a career, it's about finding where you feel like you truly belong. We can't wait to see how you grow and thrive here at MICA. And we can't wait for you to join this really talented and exciting community of artists and scholars and designers. So thank you for watching this part of the presentation. I am now going to move on to some next steps. So as admitted students, I know you're thinking, what do I do to next as to an admitted student? So the first thing you can do is let us know that you're coming to MICA. If you are ready to commit, you can secure your spot for this fall by submitting your declaration of intent form online and paying your tuition deposit. So you can scan the QR codes and that will take you to both of the sites to submit your declaration of intent and your tuition deposit. The priority decision deadline is May 1st. Once you've committed to MICA and you've made your deposit, continue to check your email often. Important information and action steps will be sent regarding ways to connect with other incoming MICA students, other opportunities and events to attend, completing your online housing application, registration for classes, how to activate your MICA account and your email. So all of that will be communicated, so continue to check your email. It's important to note that these communications will be sent to the email address in which you applied. So whatever email you put on your Common App, that is where we are sending these communications. So if you're currently using a different email than the one on your application, Like if you have a school email that is no longer active, let us know so we can update your records and make sure that we are sending these communications to the right email so you are receiving it. These are some important dates to take note of. The April 1st early deposit date just passed, but as I mentioned, the May 1st is your decision deadline to let us know. June 1st is when your visa documents are due. I'll talk a little bit more about the visa process. August 21st is our move-in day. So that is when universally when students will move in, and that's when orientation will start. And then August 26th will be the first day of fall classes. But just to talk a little bit about the visa process, first we're going to watch a brief video made by a MICA alum. Okay, so for F1 visa holders, over 90% of our students come to MICA and study under the F1 visa. These are some of the different documents that you would need to send. If you're a first-time visa holder, it's the left-hand side. If you are a current F1 visa holder, it is a couple of extra documents that you would need to submit. But for our first-time visa holders, what you would need to submit is the immigration form. The immigration form pretty much just lets us know what visa you plan on applying with. So it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of the different visas that are offered. So you just check the appropriate space and then you submit that digitally online. The certificate of finance form, it breaks down the costs of MICA and how much funding that families would need to have to support your education. So you would fill this out, and that includes your scholarships, that includes including information about any kind of sponsors or who is supporting your education. And then along with the certificate of finance form, you would need to submit a bank statement. The bank statement would be the account statement of whoever is sponsoring your education. So for example, if it is your dad that is paying your MICA education, then the bank statement would need to be from their account. And then we would need to see a copy of your passport. Make sure your passport is valid and not expired, so just make sure about that. So all documents are due by June 1st. I strongly encourage you to submit these documents earlier though. Visa appointment wait times can vary depending on your embassy. So, make sure that there isn't a long wait, but, get ahead of that line and submit your documents sooner than later. So you don't get stuck on a long wait list. You can either email your digital copies to me at ke@mica.edu, or you can upload your documents directly to your student portal. But everything is shared digitally. Nothing will need to be mailed physically. So these are the two ways in which you can submit your visa paperwork. As soon as we receive your visa paperwork, as long as you've already paid your tuition deposit, we can create your I-20 immediately. All right. So that is visa information. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the ELL support for students. So we provide a lot of different opportunities to make sure all of our students have the support to be successful and to thrive in their classes. So we have English language supported classes with ELL specialists, so multilingual students are able to take their first year requirements in liberal arts with faculty who are really experienced in working with English language learners. So these classes are designed to introduce you to U.S. higher education system and the unique culture of MICA with ELL experienced faculty members. We have the first year writing studio. These classes help build confidence in class participation, expand your vocabulary, and help you with advanced academic reading and writing. So this is a wonderful support for our students as well. So there's also individualized tutoring by professional writers. We're excited about the brand new global and intercultural exchange minor. So this is for students who can choose this minor and take classes in linguistics, translation, non-Western art history, or intercultural communication, where it offers a curricular experience for students who are interested in investigating their experience of living and working in a global society. And then we also have the wonderful Office of International Education right on our MICA campus. So this office can assist students with F1 visa, immigration policies, procedures, academic requirements, employment regulations, travel, and other related matters. They also offer workshops and educational programs throughout the year for international students, which covers important information like immigration, educational, and practical topics. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on a number of different platforms, so you can see what's happening day in and day out on the MICA campus, to kind of see what the MICA community and what current students are up to, and see some exhibitions on campus. So please do follow us on social media. And you can always keep in touch with the entire international team. So you can schedule a one-on-one personal meeting with any of the international admission counselors, where you can ask us personally your specific questions and have that personal attention. So we are always here to meet with you. So you can scan the QR code and look at our calendars and pick a date and time that works best for you. So a number of us are in different time zones, so you can definitely choose a calendar that works best for you. All right, so that is the MICA presentation. I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I am going to hand it over to the amazing Joy Lee, who is going to share a little bit more about her journey through MICA and her current experience as an artist.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Joy Lee. I'm gonna reintroduce myself a little bit. I graduated from MICA in 2021 as an interdisciplinary sculpture major student with a theater minor. And for me, if you ask me to use one word to describe my MICA journey, I would say customizable. For me, it's going to MICA is like walking into a buffet restaurant. You just like pick the thing you want to take, and then you kind of design your own education journey yourself. So the time when I attended MICA, I was a graphic design major student. So during the first year, although I kind of know my major, I thought I knew my major, but I was taking those mentoring classes, experimenting with fine art, sculpture, all those different kind of stuff. And then for my studio elective, I chose Intro to Graphic Design. So those are some works that I did in that class. But at the same time, when I was taking other classes like the Forum or Bodywork and Machine, I was making those sculpture, especially wearable sculpture. And I was also taking this class called theater. Like in this class, I was writing the script, and I was also performing. We did 8 nights performance, and it was incredible experience. Through the first year experience, I felt like I kind of found my own passion, which is fine art instead of graphic design. So I decided to change my major, which was very easy. I just signed a paper and then I changed to sculpture major. So if you're still like kind of not very clear about your major, don't worry about it at all. You can decide it once after the first year experience. And then like MICA has a lot of opportunities for students to show their works, or different kind of like events that you can participate in. For example, the annual benefit fashion show. So in my I think my junior year, I participate in this benefit fashion show. They're open to all different major students. Once you're interested in making something wearable, you can apply for this. So during this event, it's my first time to really collaborate with other people. I asked my classmates from different majors to be my models, to be my makeup artists. So together we create this collection. So you can see this is the whole wearable sculpture collection. It's called The Skin of Human Being. Yeah. And then after making this, I started to realize that, you know, starting at MICA was like a game. Well, when I got to my junior year, I felt that I've mastered this game and I wanted to create my own game using the school more like a resource. So at that time, me and my other friends, Kwan Zhao, Yu Che, and Song Jun, all of us very interested in body and some making those kind of like a little bit sexual like artworks, which is kind of like edgy and extreme. And so four of us, we want to make a group show together. So we asked, so we email like, I don't remember right now, like one department of MICA saying that we want to make a show, like how do we do it? And so they told me like, they told us that you should make a proposal. So we did it, and then we submit a proposal, and MICA gave us the space to do an exhibition for a month. The event sponsor opening catering, which is very sweet. So this is the poster of our group show. And during the opening of that show, I did my very first performance in public. I was wearing this wearable sculpture made by myself and then transformed myself into a spider interacting with the audience. And then after that, I had my very first solo exhibition at MICA. So MICA has this opportunity, it has this open call every year to students. If you want to have your own solo exhibition, you can apply with the proposal. So MICA has a lot of student gallery spaces for students to put up their own shows. This was the exhibition. It was in the Gateway Gallery, and it was very beautiful. I loved all those windows. So I was showing my sculpture works, some video, and also during the opening of that show, I did another performance. It's called the Beetle, and it was very it was a great experience. So I had all my friends, classmates, and professors came to my show. So I felt like, you know, at MICA, you really felt that there is a community. We support each other. We also challenge and encourage each other. So I really enjoy my time at MICA, even though you're not collaborating with other people, just being in the same room or talking about art really give you a lot of energy for your practice. Yeah. But after all those activities and events, I feel like I want to make something bigger. So I co-founded the artist collective Cliff Banquet with Joyce Liang, who was an art history and curatorial study major student at MICA. So at that time, I was really thinking about making a theatrical production. So I was asking my friends, and they're from different majors. Some of them are undergraduates, some of them are graduate students. All together, we create this theatrical production called Collective Dreaming. And this poster was designed by a graduate graphic design major student. It was very beautiful. And we had a show in the B-Box space at MICA. It was very successful. We had all tickets sold out. Yeah, and after this, sorry, there's some like costumes shots I did like for the performance, and there was some installation I made for the show. And you know, like Baltimore actually has a very vibrant art scene. We even have our own this art media called Be More Arts. They have paper magazine, and also they have their own website. And I feel like it's not like those venue or like art medium in art magazine in New York or other city. Baltimore's are very accessible for students. So we just emailed them saying that we're having this show. Is it possible to have a writer to come and write a review for us? And Be More actually said, yeah, we'll come. Just email us your address and also the time and date. We'll send the writer to your performance. So finally, we had this review published on their website. Yeah, it was very exciting. And then like after the collective dreaming program, I want to have this artist collective keep going. So we decided that we want to have a performance project biannually, like to have this artist collective to keep producing those performative artworks. So this is our website. And then for 2023, we had another, we debuted our musical experimental feature, Burning Stone, on June 30th at the Chelsea Theater. This is some beautiful posters we have on the this advertisement board in Baltimore. Yeah. And we're still collaborating with Be More Art whenever we're having a new event or new performance. They're very happy to publish the press release or review for us. After graduation from MICA, I came back to China and I went back to China and I was still like making those performances and also sculptures, also collaborating with other art magazines. This is a very big art magazine in China. And this article was actually written by another MICA alum who was also my classmate back to time at MICA. So I felt like, at MICA during the 4 year, you can really build up your network, but you're not building up in a way that you want to, take advantage of them or use them for something. But it's very natural that you have this friendship, you're really growing together, you're developing your career together. So I love how, even after graduation, we still help each other. We're still supporting each other. Yeah. And then in 2023, I have my another solo exhibition in Shanghai in the Lindsay Gallery space. It's my first commercial gallery exhibition. So this is some photos from that exhibition. I was making more sculptures. Yeah. And then right now, this month, I'm having 4 different exhibitions. So this is in the Guangzhou Time Museum, and this is in Shenzhen Pageantry Gallery, and this is in the Beijing Tree Art Museum, which is actually a MICA Chinese alum exhibition I curated with Joyce Liang, who is also the co-founder of my artist collective, and also Azra Zhang, the director of Tree Art Museum. This show we feature different Chinese MICA alum. We want to kind of like build this Chinese MICA alum community in China. Yeah. And this is the most recent one in Hong Kong. I just got back from Hong Kong. I did a performance there during the opening and also have a sculpture showing there. So if you ever happen to be in Hong Kong, feel free to check out the show. Yeah, so well, looking back, I feel like I've done a lot of things, and then what is cohesive is this entrepreneur spirit I learned from MICA, that you imagine first and then it becomes real. I felt like the student panel has already addressed this for several times before. So whenever you have a thought, I feel like MICA is really a place, or they have different resources to support your plan or whatever you want to do. I feel like my journey, my experience is really a testimony to what Kenny said, like MICA is a place for you to find who you want to be and who you are. So yeah, and this is also some experience or some I don't know, idea I want to share to all the admitted students. Just be brave and imagine whatever you really want to do, and then just do it and be the change. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Joy. I just want to jump in and say that I met Joy when she was still in high school at CAFA in Beijing, China. And it's been such an honor to be able to watch her work evolve over her, starting in high school and then over her time at MICA. And I think one thing that I want to point out about her work, one of many things, is that the work that she made at MICA is what you were seeing. A lot of that was what you were seeing in the presentation. It wasn't just assignments. She was really finding, and this is what you'll experience, is that you'll find your own voice in the work that you're making, that it's not just kind of assignments and then once you graduate, then you go on to make your real work. No, it's something that you'll find in those 4 years. And I think that's really special, and can be unique. It's not, that might not be your experience everywhere. So I think that's very telling. But thank you so much, Joy. That was beautiful. If you
Thanks.
have questions for Joy or for any of the admission counselors, you're welcome to type them into the chat if you like. We are here to help.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joy. Every time I see new exhibitions and opportunities you're a part of, I'm just blown away by how you do it all, how busy you are, and but your work is yeah, it's just incredible, and it's so exciting to see all the success that you're having. I know we're starting to run a little late. I do want to give everyone an opportunity to write in any last questions. I know we did a bit of a Q&A with the panelists, but before we wrap things up, I wanted to give anyone a last opportunity to write in any other chat. I am going to include my email, and all the counselors will include their email in the chat for you to keep in touch with us. But again, please feel free to also schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting with all of us as well. So you can have that personal time and to ask us your questions. But are there any other last questions for us before we wrap things up?
Kenny, there's a question from Hannah who asks, do students have access to studios over the summer? And how about access to dorms?
So over the summer, no, a lot of the residence halls and studio spaces will end up being used by summer programming. We have a lot of programs that happen over the summer, both grad programs, MFA summer programs, youth programs. They do offer some summer classes for MICA students who want to earn some credit. But a lot of our residence halls are also, you know, just being cleaned up and prepared for next year. So as far as summer access to summer dorms or residence halls, that isn't offered. We do offer the residence halls do stay open in between the fall and spring break. So we now allow students to stay for the winter break. We know it can be some extra expenses if you're flying back and forth between the semesters. So students can now pay bi-weekly fees to stay in their residence hall. So we do have many international students who do stay on campus over like the winter break. They spend New Year's together, you know, so you do have a little bit of a community. So that option is available during the winter break, but over the summer, students will not have an opportunity to stay in the residencies.
I think Hannah, yeah, sorry, Hannah also asked, are there work-study jobs around campus offered by MICA during the year?
Absolutely, yeah. So all students who study at MICA with an F1 visa are eligible to work on campus. So there are plenty of different employment opportunities for students, and they have a wide range of areas. So if you have a specific interest, like you're interested in wanting to work at a gallery one day, you can work in exhibitions. And if you have that curatorial kind of ambition, you can work for the exhibitions department. If you're interested in photography, you can work for the photo department, and you can help check out equipment. And if you're interested in honing your skills as a public speaker and how to kind of interact with different people and be outward facing, you can work in our undergraduate admissions office and work with us, where you are giving campus tours and greeting our visitors and answering phones. So that's always really helpful professional practice skills that you develop. But yeah, there's a lot of different types of jobs that you can work at on MICA, and we do offer work study as well. So financial aid can potentially look at the opportunity of adding work study in your scholarship package. So if you're interested in that, please reach out and let me know. There was another question. Which companies do MICA students who graduate from animation work in the past? So our animation department is growing. It is hugely popular, one of the most popular programs at MICA. And that's, you know, based on the success of a lot of our animation graduates. So as I mentioned, Isabel Tay, we have had MICA alum who have worked with Leica Animation Studios. They've worked at Google as a doodler. They've worked at Nickelodeon, Comedy Central. They've worked at Netflix. They've worked for Disney. They've worked all over. There's not only do our animators work for big studios, but some are freelancers and work for clients, and some do it for more kind of commercial and advertisement. So our animation is such a wide field, whether it be TV, movies, or shorts. There's also the communication side or for exhibitions. So our animators are really, really versatile, and they are working at so many different locations. So yeah, it's part of the reason why animation is really growing at a huge rate at MICA.
And I'd just like to add to that. That's such a great question. Where are students working? And um, you're going to gain professional contacts, not just from the career development office. In the different majors, your faculty will also have connections to the industry. So um, I want you to think about if there is a dream job that you have or a company that you want to work for. If you know that already, that can help you, because then when you arrive on campus, you can start looking into doing an internship with them and meeting with career development, talking to your faculty. They can help you get your foot in the door at that company. So if you have an idea of what your dream job is, maybe you want to start your own animation studio, that's also an option. So, think about what it is you really want to do, and we can help kind of initiate that and get that started when you arrive on campus. So yeah, that's a great question. And I also want you to think about what you hope your role would be in that company. And I think when you look at what our alumni are doing, they're not just the manual labor behind the scenes drawing other people's ideas, they're actually the idea makers. So N.D. Stevenson wrote that story. That's their own original characters and narrative. And you'll see that a lot. Jeremy Talbot was actually creating the characters. Many times they look like him. Um, so the characters he designed for Brave, he designed the king who has red hair like him and same complexion. And you'll see that a lot with MICA alum, that they're the idea generators, they're the concept makers, not just the labor behind the scenes. And I think that's important to take note of as you look at these different colleges and make your college decision.
And as you mentioned, N.D. Stevenson and Nimona, which was hugely popular. It spent a good amount of time in the New York Times bestseller list. Again, it was up as a National Book Finalist Award for Young People's Literature, and it was developed into an Oscar-nominated Netflix film. Nimona was conceived and started by ND when they were a senior at MICA. That whole idea that has blown up into a nominated film started as a senior concept. So when ND was a MICA student, that's when they first came up with that idea and started developing it, which is incredible. Any other last questions? Again, we want to thank you so much for joining us. The conversation doesn't end here. It continues, and reach out to us, email us, schedule other appointments. So I know you will have 20 more questions that you come up and think about as soon as we sign off here. So when you have those questions, let us know right away so we can, we're here to support you throughout this entire process. So if there are no other questions, I want to say thank you again. I know it's getting quite late for some of you, so I know some of you are joining us in so many different time zones, and we appreciate you being here. We will have a video of this recording shared on the MICA website, so you can view this as many times as you want. You revisit Joy's wonderful presentation, look at her work again, watch the student panelists who are absolutely just incredible. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. But yeah, we'll talk to you again, and hopefully we will see you on the MICA campus and welcome you to our campus and community this fall. We'll all be there. Well, not all. Some of us will be there at orientation, so we will be ready to help you move in, but we'll be waiting for you.
Oh, congratulations, everyone. We can't wait to meet you. Oh, thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, congrats.